Welcome everyone to Visionary Psychics. I'm Sara Wiseman and I'm here today with our visionary psychic, Sophie Pander. Sophie, welcome to our series of teaching episodes. Nice to have you
I'm
here.
excited.
Yeah. So, Sophie, you've had a very interesting journey with your intuitive sensitivities coming to you very early on and really never leaving. Like you've just gotten more and more open to your sensitivities. And I'm wondering if you could just tell us kind of what that's been like for you, or what your path has been like.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's um, I have been aware of my sort of sensitivities or clairvoyance and um, as for a long, long time, for forever really, since I was a young child, and they sort of what kind of experiences I had were having like when I was 6, for example, I had the neighbor gave me these shoes, like we were playing in some shoe box or dress up box. And I put these shoes on and I felt really like I felt the life of this family in my whole being for days. And I felt kind of sick to my stomach. Like it was my first experience of really going into somebody else's energy and just like seeing their life. And I didn't really understand it, but um, you know, I was just extremely uncomfortable, and it
Yeah.
took days to shake it. So there was like things like that would happen, and then I had these probably when I was about maybe 9 or 10. I made these little string dolls that were in school. I made these little string dolls, and my bedroom at the time had like a slanted ceiling. So I decided to hang them from little threads. And then when I lay in bed, I'd move them with my mind. I'd get them all spinning one way, and then I get them all spinning the other way, and then I'd spin them different directions because I played with them that way. And I didn't see that there was anything unusual about that. And I felt like it was easy, and it didn't seem like a big deal. And then it was the 70s, and at the time Uri Geller was on the news bending spoons, and I
Right.
remember my mom and another family friend said it's impossible, you can't move things with their mind. And I at that point I just stopped doing it. It wasn't like I was like um I don't believe anymore. I just stopped doing it. I'm like, I can't, I
Yeah.
don't know, it's like my mom told me it wasn't real, so I just stopped. And I never thought that, oh, I didn't do it. I just thought I just moved on to something else. Um,
Yeah. Or
so
maybe even, you just stop because it's so clear, like it's not going to be accepted or supported. It's just like, okay, that's too much to bring to anyone else's. I can't let
yeah,
anyone else know about this. It's too much. They don't believe it. Something like that.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's pretty accurate. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So, and then I had other experiences as a teenager. I started learning how to meditate consciously as a teenager. And then when I started meditating, very quickly, I would started having spirits come to me and ask me for help. Like, and I got really like um, upset by that because I didn't know what to do. And I wasn't scared. I just was confused. So this kind of happened for years where every time I meditate, spirits would come to me and I could see them. And then
Hmm.
it wasn't even like spirits asking for help. It was a combination of people I knew in the world coming to me in spirit
Hmm.
form, like in their underwear or just in different kind of ways, saying things to me. Like,
Hmm.
so I'd get confused and then I was just kind of shut it all down because I wasn't
Yeah.
sure what to do. And um, until I actually came to start studying with you about 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. And I felt like you were the one because I dipped in over the years And I thought, this is my work, but I don't know freaking how to get there. I don't know how to get there. And then you gave me the technique and tools to do it, to, journey energetically in a way that felt safe.
Well, and I guess it's not really me, because what you're describing, like, not you have a lot more spirit and energy contact than I do. I have more just the guides and channeling. Everyone kind of has their different gifts, and we just have a little bit different pieces of the puzzle. But we must have been going through this hand in hand, like, how do we figure this out? Because I was figuring it out at the same time you were figuring it out, and just, adding to it, adding to the puzzle, or, here's what I know, here's what I know, and just kind of going through that. That must have been really kind of super difficult as a kid to just have all this stuff, or a teen have all this stuff happening, and like nobody's talking about it, or nobody has a system, or there's no, it's just you having your experiences and thinking you're by yourself that way.
Well, I
So
think it's true. And I'm sure that lots of people experience that. And I think also what that created in its sort of aloneness is it created a vacuum in me, like a determination. So I, there was chaos in my family life.
yeah.
And my sort of belief was, as a child, was if I just love everyone more and I open my heart more, it'll fix everything. So
Right.
by doing that, I delved into my heart so big it kept my spirit connection going for me, and that developed, like in hindsight, looking back, in throughout my whole life as an adult to most of my adult life, it created like a pump there
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one that I am the only one that can liberate myself, even though
Right.
it's kind of a contradiction. It's like I feel alone. And so then I went within to my heart and I'm like, I'm not alone.
Yes.
Like
Right.
it was like being connected to the whole, but I kind of was forced in a way through my life experiences from childhood to, from difficult experiences to go within. And so in a way, I can see how that was a really great gift. But in the time, there were things that felt like nightmares.
In the time it was really hard, but now you've come through all of that experience, which makes, and lots of us have been through different variations of this earlier or later chaos, and so here we are now, and this gives us a lot of compassion and understanding for people who are, kind of moving through that stuff themselves, either the earlier chaos, or the psychic stuff, or both. Sometimes it's hand in hand. One thing you talk about, that you and I haven't talked about very much, but this idea of this moving energy, um, and your ability to kind of see energy. I'm not sure how you'd explain this, but almost like you can see energy and kind of ask it to shift. Tell us, what is that for you?
Um, well, so I'll do my best. Basically, it's kind of like if um, so, okay, what's coming to mind is there's a friend who was having a hard time with her husband, like basically smoking pot and watching TV all the time. She felt like he's shut down and I can't get through to him. So I looked at the energy of what's happening with him. And then I sort of look at the different dimensional layers. I can see the different layers, and I can see, um, I hope this makes sense. There's a
Yeah.
past life involved. So I'd helped uh, connect the belief that came from that past life into him now. And then on a soul level, I went and had a conversation with him. And I said, because I could see the misbelief from that past life. And so it was carrying over. So I went into the spirit, the um, um, energy field now. And it's just like we're sitting together. To me, it's the same as if you and I sitting here. And I had a conversation with him, and I'm like, this person loves you. Things have changed. She is completely devoted to you. You can believe this. And then so we have this, and I can see their resistance, and then I can see them start opening. So, so in that way, I've helped shift the energy. And also, I feel like I can bring in, but I don't really do this that much because I'm very careful with it. I feel like I could bring different things into the equation. I could be like, oh, here is a bouquet of flowers, whatever. Or like I could move things in there, but I don't move things because I don't think that's safe. So I could help with the flow of energy with this person. Like, okay, we're going to send light to your situation with you. Like, it's like I'm literally sitting with him in front of me and going, okay, we're going to move some light through your situation. So does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're working, you and the person, I would put it like you're working in a different dimensional level where you can access the past life and the soul lesson and I'm just putting it into words that I would use, and you could have soul to soul communication with them, which is astounding. And then this next part of bringing in other elements, I would wonder if, like, I always find the guides bring the other elements when I'm like, show me the other elements the person needs. And I would think as long as you have your guide there, or like a higher being or higher essence telling you, like, bring in the flowers or bring in the shamrocks, I don't even know, whatever the thing is that person needs.
Well, I mean, that's a good point, that I can just ask the guide, what can I help? What would help this person? And they would show me. Imagine. I think once when I was younger, I removed something from somebody with not knowing. And that person came just because I didn't know what I was looking at. So I thought, oh, I'm going to take that off of this person.
Yes.
And the person was quite upset about that. We were in our early 20s, but they came to me and said, we talked about it, so it was okay. But then I realized never remove anything. So that's kind of what I mean by moving stuff. Like, I just am very careful. I'm respectful of what's there. So.
Yeah, it's like you're very respectful of the idea that, like, just because we can see the soul lesson doesn't mean we should remove it, because maybe that's the most important thing for that person to be working on right now, that's going to benefit them.
Yeah, and also things in the field. Like, I can if you see something in the field, like an orange or something, you're just leave it there.
Right.
Guide them to open it up themselves. So that's what I do, is I help them. I work a plan I discuss with them through the guides how we can heal that part of their field.
Yeah. Do you find that, like, I've been noticing lately, like, the synchronicities in my life, or maybe are so, like, I'll think of someone and then I'll get an email from them, or I'll be looking at something from the past and then that person will contact me. Is that a pretty active part of your experience too, that idea of things overlapping a lot?
Yeah, for sure. And also, I mean, to the point of seeing, oh, in 2 months, I'm going to have like a big spiritual challenge and I'm going to get a new guide. Like, I just knew that, so, I mean, and then if there's synchronicities that kind of confuse me, I will always go within. Sometimes it can make me feel anxiety in my personality. So then I'll go, okay, I got to sit with this for a sec. And every single time, 100% of the time, it's something really beautiful that my personality misunderstood and got anxious about.
Yeah, because the personality wants to just keep on track with the system, just like what we our to-do lists and what we're our projects and what we're thinking we're doing, and the soul may have entirely different plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guides speak in a way that kind of used to confuse me and give me anxiety, but now I trust it. So I
Yeah.
don't freak out anymore about that.
What do you do? Just, I mean, you and me and probably a lot of people listening, like to be so sensitive in a world that doesn't really honor that at this point. How do you just navigate your regular day? Like, have you figured out a way to kind of just like, I, I just accept I'm super sensitive, everything's going to come in, and then I just allow myself to be in my day that way, as opposed to maybe even several years ago, I just felt, like, it's all too much. And now, what's been your progression with that aspect?
Um, so basically I I see I I just open my heart.
Yeah.
So I go through my heart basically. And if I start getting overwhelmed, I sit with myself and I imagine that I just plopped on, I was in a completely evolved soul and I just plopped into my life and somehow it just clears everything for me.
Hmm.
And then with that clearing, I go, it just opens my heart and I just feel kind of like anything weird just kind of doesn't stick to me. And I
Yeah.
also just feel very loving and happy towards the people that I feel like around me, but I feel like I'm not detached, but I kind of feel that literally like I've just risen above anything that could bother me. So there's that in being in the world. And then I do, it is a lot of work to feel clear. So
Yeah.
I really have to do a lot of work. It's part of my life that I walk in the woods and
Hmm.
I bathe in Epsom salts and I meditate every single day, or I would be I get really unhappy because I
Yeah.
get too much stuck, too much in, and that is to say even too about like it's about positive life. It's not, just so people don't misunderstand, it's not about negative stuff necessarily. It's just about seeing and feeling everything.
Yeah.
You go, it goes in you. And so like every day I clear it out. And I also find that I need to spend time alone and not talking. So, you know,
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with all of those. I just had this image of, we're like being these empathic little sponges, and then like with a sponge you have to like take it and rinse it and squeeze it out and kind of just clear it, and that's sort of what we have to do with the taking in everything, in every single moment.
yeah, I wish the world was different in that it would sort of consciously respected that part of humans, because I think that if a lot of humans, I am driven to help people and I want to help people move from inner chaos back to their inner freedom that is their birth.
Oh, yeah.
It's my goal with everybody I work with. And
Yeah.
it would be nice if we had our society honored that a little more, like just quieted everything down. Let it be okay that someone needs to go sit alone for 15 minutes instead of thinking that they're weird. It would be nice,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, I was watching this, I don't know, Swedish movie or something, I don't know, and they had a little in the movie they had this privacy chair, and I just remember thinking, oh, I want I want the privacy chair because my household's pretty busy, and like you said, that stillness and privacy is so
Yeah.
lovely just to go in. um When you look at yourself, this will be our last question, I think. When you look at yourself in 20 years, how, like, I'm just hoping that I can get more and more just always from my heart and more open. And of course, I hope that I can, spread the word on this process and be of assistance to people. But I'm just hoping to become like transparent or something like that. When you look at yourself, like you're making progress in your spiritual essence, what does that look like to you? What is that person? How is that person being?
Well, I would like to be in a space where I've built enough in my world and strength in bringing my soul out and helping people, that um, that I can genuinely help a lot of people. I mean, I want to help. I want to help so many people, everybody.
Yeah.
I want to love everybody. I want to heal everybody. And however that manifests, I don't want to be sitting alone in my home just wishing that. I want to be in the world with some skills and tools and connections. And I also want people to honor their soul in themselves, because it's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about a guru or whatever. It's about you tapping into you. And that is the
Mm-hmm.
most beautiful gift you could give anyone, is helping with their pathway to themselves. And that is my
Mm-hmm.
goal. I want to have people not dependent on me, but have
Mm-hmm.
people be open to what I have to say and finding their own way back in.
Yeah. Giving them the key or the key to get in them there themselves
Yes,
forever. So that, right, exactly.
that is my what I wish for.
Yeah. And having enough people eventually on the planet so we lift our whole humanity up, that might not happen in this in this lifetime for us, but we can come back again and try another another couple times.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, anything you'd like to add, or anything that you wanted to touch on that needs to still get said?
Um, I think I kind of think I've said everything. I think that last piece was really important to me, to
Mm-hmm.
just make my kind of soulful statement about helping
Right.
people, that if I can help someone, that they can tap into their own
Mm-hmm.
sort of healing soul, then I
Right.
feel like I've done my job. And,
Yeah.
it's not about, you know, my ego or me.
Mm-hmm.
It's about something else. And,
It's about contributing to lift up the whole is kind of what it is. Yeah.
I've gone through so much pain, in intense pain in my life, and my,
Mm-hmm.
the childhood, and
Yeah.
like, it's kind of a miracle I'm here, and I don't want people to give up.
Right.
This is a beautiful place to be, and it's your lens that you can help
Yeah.
clear to see that.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Well, Sophie, thank you for being a part of the Visionary Psychics, and I will put the information about where folks can reach you below in the text, so that'll come later. Anyway, just so honored to know you, and thank you for being here today. Thank you. Thank you.